The Amex Platinum card is likely the most popular credit card in existence. Even for folks who aren't in the credit card game, when they see you pull that silver metal credit card out, they know you mean business. However, what they might not realize is that a ton of people are getting this card but wasting $695 per year by holding it. So in this video, I'll be breaking down 5 simple ways that you can effectively make the Amex Platinum card free, especially when these methods are used in combination with one another. Before we even get into that though, there is one thing that you need to know that could actually wipe all of the annual fees on your Amex cards if you fall into this category, and that would be if you're active duty within the US military. And if you are, thank you for your service. I know some folks in the credit community Discord, which is linked down below as always, who have tons of premium American Express credit cards that they don't pay a single dollar for every single year. I will note though that I would not recommend that you try to abuse this perk in a way if you are just now getting started in the credit card game, and the reason for that is because once you are not active duty anymore, you will eventually have to pay annual fees on these cards. So if you started your credit card journey with the Amex Platinum card for some reason, and later down the line when you're not active duty, those annual fees start posting, if at that point you wanted to cancel that card but it was your first ever credit card that you opened, that could eventually hurt your credit score. So I'd still recommend you start with 1 to 2 no annual fee credit cards first. That way you can just prop up your average age of accounts and never have to close those oldest cards. Of course, this method of wiping the annual fees on your Amex cards is not going to apply to a lot of people, but I did just want to make sure that those who are active duty know about this perk and use it to their advantage. But as for method number 1, as to how you could effectively wipe off the annual fee of the Amex Platinum card, we'll talk about Amex offers. Amex offers, I feel like, have been getting a lot more hype on credit card YouTube recently, and obviously I can see why. There are a ton of really great offers out there on your cards, not just your Amex cards, but especially on a card like the Amex Platinum, where you might not only be saving a couple $100s here and there, but maybe even thousands of dollars over the course of the year if these offers line up with what you normally spend in anyways. For those of y'all who have no clue what I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and show y'all a screenshot of an offer that I had on my Amex Gold card from a video I did a while back talking about how you can maximize the value from your credit cards. As you can see here, I had an offer on my Amex Gold card that gave me $200 back after spending $1,000 on select Hilton resort locations. Now obviously spending at a Hilton resort in particular is not an everyday spending category by any means, but considering the Amex Platinum card is a travel focused credit card, I'm going to assume that you're at least taking a few trips per year because you have this card. And honestly, if you're not doing that, then I would just say right off the bat that you should not have the Amex Platinum card. If you're not traveling, don't get this card. But let's just say you're planning to take a trip to Cancun, Mexico, where you'll be staying at the all-inclusive Hilton resort there. If your trip was to cost more than $1,000 and you activated this offer before you actually booked the trip, you just saved yourself $200 right there because you had an Amex card with that Amex offer on it. Of course, this extends far past just Hilton properties though. And in general, I'd recommend that before you do any kind of retail shopping, especially online shopping, that you go and check your Amex offers that are available on your cards. At the time of my recording, I found a bunch of offers out there for places like Finish Line, Nike, Bose, Levi's, and much more. So like I said, I would just check these before you start shopping online because you could save yourself money by doing really no extra work. The way that I optimize these offers even more though is by using them in combination with a cashback stacking portal like Rakuten. With Rakuten, these same retailers may give you an extra 10% back, which you actually can get in Amex membership rewards points if you link an eligible Amex card to Rakuten, which the Platinum card is an eligible card in this case. But if you were to do that, you could kind of double dip in a really big way. Just don't forget that to use these Amex offers, you do have to activate them manually if you do not pay for a paid service like I do to do that for me. Another tool you can use both Amex offers and Rakuten in combination with is Kudos. Kudos is a free shopping extension that helps you to pick the best card to use at checkout and doubles your credit card rewards on over 15,000 sites, which basically allows you to spend less while also earning more. With Kudos, it's never been easier to rack up those points. For instance, if you usually earn 3% back at stores like Booking.com, StubHub, or Uniqlo, with Kudos' Boost feature, you'll actually get 6% back. It doubles your earnings right there, which is pretty cool. And honestly, it's just so easy to use. All you have to do is download it to your browser, or you can actually download their app on your iPhone. And then all you have to do is just shop like normal, and Kudos is going to pop up at checkout to help you through the rest of the process. Then after that, you just sit back, relax, and enjoy because Kudos does save the average user over $750 per year. Or if you're somebody on team travel like me, you can consider that some extra funds for your travel expenses. One really underrated feature about Kudos in my opinion is that it does autofill your card information at checkout, and generally whenever I do any kind of autofills through my Chrome browser or something like that, it still forces me to type in my security code every single time, which obviously makes sense from a safety perspective on their end. But since Kudos keeps your information really secure and is dedicated for that purpose, whenever I autofill my information using Kudos, it pulls up my security code for me and everything. That way, if my wallet's super far away and I don't want to get it, I can still automatically fill in all of my information without any extra effort. So don't wait. Use code Spencer to get Kudos for free by clicking the link below or going to joinkudos.com/Spencer. Once again, that's joinkudos.com kudos.com/Spencer, and the future you will thank you later. Thank you so much to Kudos for sponsoring this video, but let's go ahead and get back to making your Amex Platinum card free for you. And we're going to step these savings back in a huge way here with method number 2, which is going to be credits. The Amex Platinum card has become widely known as a coupon book, and honestly that makes a lot of sense. However, you cannot deny that the amount of value this card potentially could give you is astronomically high. Even with these credits we're about to talk about alone, you can save yourself over $1,500 per year just by having this card. However, do not let that number confuse you here, because in reality I would be willing to bet that literally nobody gets the maximum amount of value from this card that you can. But let's talk through each of these credits really quickly, because there are a lot of them. That way you can kind of see how much value you personally would get from these credits naturally. Remember, if you would not use these credits before getting this card, then I would probably not count that towards lowering your effective annual fee on this card, because in reality all an annual fee is a way for you to prepay for the benefits that come on this card. So if you're now using credits you wouldn't have been using before, that's not lowering your effective annual fee, you're just spending more money. But let's start with the more travel related credits first, and then we'll move on to the more lifestyle and retail credits after that. So the first credit we'll talk about is the Airline Fee Credit. While this credit does sound really simple, it actually is somewhat confusing, but basically what it gives you is every single calendar year, not your card anniversary year, but calendar year, you can get back up to $200 worth of incidental fees that are charged to your card on a single US airline of your choice that you do have to choose before you actually activate this credit. As the name suggests, technically this credit is supposed to be used for incidental fees only, and that would be charges such as checked baggage fees, or if you want to upgrade your boarding position or anything like that. However, depending on how airlines code certain purchases, you may actually be able to trigger this credit by just paying for flights. You do have to be somewhat strategic about it though, but this is how I've seen at least one person make this work. And what they did was book 4 one-way Southwest tickets that were like $50-ish each, and that did trigger the airline incidental fee credit. So whether it was because it was under a certain dollar amount or what have you, that could be why it triggered the credit. However, of course your mileage may vary on this, and I'd love to see some of y'all's data points about this down below too. Also, that does go for the Aspire card as well if you're somebody that has that card instead of the Platinum card. So of course the potential annual value of this credit is $200. After that, they do also have a hotel credit. What this credit gives you is up to $200 back as a statement credit whenever you book prepaid stays through Amex's travel portal. Note that this credit can be triggered by an Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts booking, or the hotel collection through Amex's travel portal as well. But if you do book through the hotel collection, in order to trigger this credit, the stay has to be at least 2 nights or more. This one should be a bit easier for you to get value from, and the potential annual value of this credit is $200 again. After that, we'll talk about the Uber credits. This one's pretty simple though. You just get $200 back as Uber cash credits that you can use either for Uber Eats or for Uber rides every calendar year. Also, I didn't realize this until making this video, but you can actually enroll in Uber VIP status with this credit as well. And that basically just gives you access to better cars or higher rated drivers and stuff like that. But to get any of these credits, you do have to link your Amex Platinum card to your Uber account. Once that's done, every single month you'll get $15 in Uber cash deposited to your Uber cash account. And that's the case for every month but December, when you get an extra $20 that month, giving you $35 in December. Since this credit is deposited as Uber cash, you can kind of just use it however you want and split it up over different rides or anything like that. It basically just acts as a gift card, but it also does not roll over to the next month. So you have that $15 gift card every single month that you have to either use or lose. Once again though, the potential annual value of this credit is $200. The next travel credit is for a Clear Plus membership, which is up to $189, but that will cover the whole cost of this program. For those y'all that don't know what Clear is, it's basically that one line that is right next to you if you're in the normal TSA line, where people will come in and get their biometrics scanned and then just skip the whole TSA line and get in front of you. So obviously if you're somebody that's traveling a lot, this could be really helpful if that line is not long itself. But if you do activate this credit under the benefits section of your Amex Platinum card and create an account with Clear to sign up for this and everything like that, you will get that full potential annual value of $189 back in your pocket. The last travel specific credit is for global entry or TSA Precheck. All you have to do is pay the $100 global entry application fee or the $78 TSA Precheck fee, I believe it is, using this card, and the full price of that purchase will be reimbursed to you as a statement credit up to $100. Do note that only one credit is going to be reimbursed to you every 4 years for global entry, or every 4.5 years for TSA Precheck, and whichever one you post to your account first within that time frame is going to be the one that you get the credit back for. Also remember that global entry does give you TSA Precheck automatically, so obviously I'd recommend going for global entry if you're somebody that's going to be traveling internationally. But from my experience, I got global entry on my Capital One Venture X actually, but I still have not been able to do the actual interview process to where I could, get global entry and TSA Precheck under my name. And the only way I think I'm going to be able to do it is on arrival from an international trip. So until I actually take an international trip, I will not get global entry or TSA Precheck because I haven't gone through the full screening yet. But if we split up this $100 credit into 4 years, because assuming you're getting global entry every 4 years, that's how much you'd save. Technically, your potential annual value for this credit is only $25. On the more lifestyle and retail side of the credits that come on the Amex Platinum, the first credit to talk about is the digital entertainment credit, which basically gives you reimbursement for the following services: Audible, Peacock, SiriusXM, the New York Times, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and the Wall Street Journal. To my understanding, you can kind of mix and match how you actually get up to this $240 worth of entertainment credit, but you will be given these credits in $20 per month increments. So personally, I'd probably use this for Audible, which doesn't even come up to a total of $20 per month, meaning I wouldn't be taking advantage of this credit fully. But technically, if you just use any of these services already, then getting $20 off per month on these services is, a really powerful thing. And of course, the potential annual value of this credit is $240. They've also recently added in a Walmart Plus credit for up to $155 per year. The monthly membership cost, at least right now, is $12.95 plus taxes after that. So this statement credit should cover most, if not all of that for you. If you already use Walmart a lot for your shopping, then this credit actually is going to be really powerful for you, because you can now get your groceries shipped to you for free and stuff like that. But even if you don't shop at Walmart frequently, one of the big ways that I've seen a lot of people get value from this still is by getting gas at Walmart. With a Walmart Plus membership, you do get 10 cents off per gallon, I believe, at Walmart pump locations. And the cool thing is that you can still use whatever card you want whenever actually purchasing the gas, because the Amex Platinum card is only just tied to your Walmart Plus account to pay for the membership. But you could use a card like the Custom Cash at the gas pump to give you 5x back on top of that 10 cents off per gallon, which is another way to kind of stack some rewards. Of course, the potential annual value of just the actual credit itself is $155 though. One of the lesser used credits, at least I'd imagine, on the Amex Platinum card is the Saks Fifth Avenue credit. And the way that this credit is given to you is in two $50 statement credits per year. So every year you'll get one $50 statement credit in the first half of the year, or from January 1st to June 30th, and then you'll get your second statement credit from July 1st to December 31st. As with most of these credits, you will have to enroll your card in order to actually get this credit, but the nice thing about it is there is no minimum purchase required. So even if you just wanted to buy a couple of pair of socks a year through Saks Fifth Avenue, you could do that and at least get some value back. And if you don't shop at Saks yourself, one way I've seen a lot of people use this credit on the card is by buying gifts for people. At the end of the day though, the potential annual value of this credit is $100. Now here comes the most worthless credit of all of them in my opinion, and that is the $300 Equinox credit. Now you can use this credit on either the Equinox membership, like the physical location membership, or you can use it for their app as well. The app only costs $40 a month, and that's helpful if you don't live near one of their locations, but still, I don't think a lot of people are going to use this very much. If you already go to an Equinox, and that's great for you, but you're probably not even watching a video like this because you don't care about how much money you spend. For the people that don't have an Equinox membership though, this one is obviously pretty worthless. However, the potential annual value is technically $300. Adding up the potential annual value that we just said for all of these credits, you could get up to $1,609 back from all those credits. But as I said, I think that's pretty unrealistic that you get anywhere near that amount of value back technically. However, I do think it's very realistic that from the credits alone, you could get up to $700 back, which would cover the annual fee right there. Just remember though that this only applies to people who actually have a lifestyle that fits the Amex Platinum card. And if you're just somebody getting it to look cool, then I think it's just a waste of money either way. Method number 3 to make the Amex Platinum card effectively free though would be to use its extensive airport lounge access. As I'm sure most of you know, the Amex Platinum card is touted as having like the best airport lounge access available on any credit card. Through the American Express Global Lounge Collection, you get access to Priority Pass lounges, Delta Sky Clubs, Escape lounges, Plaza Premium lounges, Airspace lounges, Centurion lounges, and International American Express lounges. The Priority Pass Select membership that comes with the Amex Platinum will actually not grant you any kind of credits for their restaurants, but either way, let's just say that you value an airport lounge visit at $50 per visit. You can effectively value how much this perk is worth to you in that way. So if you plan to visit a lounge 5 times a year at $50, you'd be saving yourself $250 a year. But if you're somebody that travels for work and uses these lounges like 10 to 20 times per year, then this perk alone would cover the annual fee on the Platinum card effectively. Method number 4 to make the Amex Platinum card free is to utilize the hotel status that you are granted with this card. For those of y'all that don't know, this card does give you Marriott Bonvoy Gold Elite status, as well as Hilton Honors Gold status. The value that this perk in particular will give you can vary widely depending on the person, but let me just do a quick example so you can kind of start to think of how the math might work out for your case. Let's say that you wanted to book a room at a pretty nice Hilton, and the cheapest room that you can find at that Hilton is $300 per night. While what I'm about to say may be pretty unlikely if you only have gold status with Hilton, let's say that they did have availability to upgrade you to a better room that would have cost $600 per night. Even if you just book a 3-night stay, you're getting $300 in savings back each night by getting that upgraded room, meaning that you effectively saved yourself $900 because of this one perk. Again, like I said, this might not be super super realistic for Hilton Gold in particular, but you could always join a community like the credit community Discord that I run with Mark Plymale and Daniel Braun, and you can ask people in there what their experiences have been like with these statuses if that's something you're interested in. One interesting way I found to calculate the value of these credits was through the points guy, and what they did is value Hilton Gold status at $1,255 per year and Marriott Bonvoy Gold Elite status at $840 per year. And the way that they reach these values is by calculating what it would actually take for you to earn these statuses naturally through staying a certain amount of nights and all of that. So obviously if you do stay fewer nights, then you'd have to taper down how much value this is actually worth to you. It's just another way to value this perk, but like I said before, your mileage may vary on this. Method number 5 that you can use to effectively reduce the annual fee on the Amex Platinum card is by using the Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts collection. From what I've been told by people who have used these perks, which I have not gotten to do myself yet, these are some of the best experiences people have at any properties they've stayed at. If you were to book a trip at one of these properties, not only could you activate that hotel credit that we talked about earlier in the video, but you also get a lot of elite-like benefits such as early check-in and late check-out, room upgrades when available, daily breakfast for up to 2 people, complimentary Wi-Fi, and even a unique $100 property credit that comes whenever you book a hotel in this method. Of course, on top of that, if you are to book these stays in cash with your Platinum card, you'll also get 5x back on those purchases. But as we just discussed with the hotel statuses that you get, it's kind of hard to put an exact dollar amount on what this perk actually gives you. But to do another quick example so you can see just how much money you could effectively value this at, let's say that once again you booked a 3-night hotel stay through Amex's Fine Hotels and Resorts collection. If it's just you and your spouse staying together, that would be 3 free complimentary breakfasts that they would give you because of this perk. And assuming that each of those breakfasts would have normally cost about $30 each, knowing how these nice hotels charge for breakfasts, that's a quick value of $180 for your stay right there. Then if you did get a room upgrade while you were there, you can kind of refer back to that example I just gave with the hotel statuses to see how much value you could technically get because of that. And then you add in all the other perks like the $100 property credit, the early check-in, late check-out, the complimentary Wi-Fi, which I think is actually like their upgraded Wi-Fi if I'm not mistaken. All of those perks combined could net you not only just hundreds of dollars a year, but maybe even thousands depending on how often you're using this. With all of that being said, as you can see, even though the Platinum card does have a really high annual fee of $695, for many travelers that actually know how to use this card, this annual fee can not only be effectively wiped, but you could actually be getting a ton of positive value from this card every year. This is definitely not a card that I would recommend that everybody get though. As I said before, if you are not somebody that's traveling frequently, do not get this card. And also I'd highly suggest that you run some kind of calculation for yourself before getting this card to see what you would naturally get positive value from before just assuming you'll get a ton of value from this card without ever having even looked at any numbers about it. If you're somebody that's still kind of on the fence about applying for the Platinum card and are looking for maybe some other options that at least compete with it but do have a much more reasonable annual fee, then be sure to go ahead and watch this video next where I break down some of the best travel cards in detail. As always, Odin and I both want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.